welcome. Today we're going to make this beautiful beach dress. You can see that it's such a great, easy pattern, super stretchy, adjustable to any size. You just make it as wide as you'd like. The arm openings, you can make those as big as you would like as well, and of course, as long as you would like. We'll be making two pieces. Mine is about 20 inches by 28 inches, and I'm going to do a two-color version. This here is just one piece with two colors. I also made one version all in one solid color, and it was with the Caron Cotton Angel Cakes in the Summer Sage color. You might need a little bit more if you're planning on making it larger. For this video, I used yarn from Furls Crochet and their 5mm crochet hook. I will post everything in the description of this video. So I used 2 balls of each. It was a total of about 375 meters, 250 grams, or 400 yards and 8 ounces for my size. You might need to use a little more if you're going to make it bigger. So let's get started. So let's begin by starting with a slip knot. We are going to do a foundation half double crochet. Let's chain 2. We're then going to yarn over and go into that bump or the back part of that first chain. We're going to draw up one loop. We're going to yarn over and just go through that very first loop. And then we will yarn over and go through all 3. So let's do another one. Yarn over. This time we're going to go under the 2 or the V on the bottom. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 1. That creates the chain on the bottom. Yarn over, pull through all 3 for the half double crochet. Let's try another one. Yarn over, going into that chain stitch that we created on the bottom, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, creating another chain for our bottom, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. You can see how it creates a nice bottom edge. So I'm going to use the purple first. I just wanted to show you the stitch close up with the gray color. So let's continue to make our chains. Some hint is to actually hold it vertical or even upside down to make the stitch easier. So holding it upside down, you can go into that bottom chain, pulling up 1 and just going through the first, and then finishing the half double crochet. So again, I'm just showing you some more of these stitches. And you can see that I'm pretty much holding this stitch upside down. I really like this foundation half double crochet to start because it just makes such a nice finish for the neckline. So now we need to measure our width to see how wide we would like our beach cover. So mine was 61 stitches and about 20 inches. You need to make your stitches divisible by 3 and then add 1 so you can make it as narrow or wide as you would like. So after you've gotten your correct width, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to do a single crochet in that very first stitch. So right in that first spot, single crochet. We will then chain 4, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip 2. So we worked in that first one, and then we're going to skip the next 2 and work into the next, and then we're going to put a single crochet. So skipping 2 and single crochet. And we're going to repeat this now. So let's do it again. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2, 1, 2, and single crochet. And we can repeat this all the way to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2, and single crochet. These are the loops that you are creating. So I'll meet you at the end of the row. Here I am on my last loop. I will do my chain 4, 3, 4, and single crochet into that last stitch. So for my width, I have 20 loops. So it should look something like this. And here are all your loops. So however many you have, this is what it'll look like. For our next row, we will start with the chain 4 and turn. So let's chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to start this row and every row by putting a single crochet in that first loop. So right in that first loop, let's do a single crochet. We're then going to chain 4 and single crochet into the next loop. And then we're going to repeat. This is how simple this beach dress is. So let's continue. Chain 4 and single crochet into the next loop. Here you can see our loops. So your first loop is always going to be a little bit smaller right here to start each round. But every row should have the same amount of loops. So let's continue to the end of the row. Once you have reached the end, we will put a single crochet in that last loop. We can then chain 4 and turn. Starting the next round, single crochet in the first loop. And you can see the first loop always looks a little bit smaller on the end. So let's just continue. Chain 4, single crochet into the next loop, and repeat all the way across. So here we are at the end, doing our last chain 4 and going into that last loop with a single crochet. And at the end we chain 4 and turn. Look at how easy this dress is. Every row will be the same. This was the first half of the dress that I made. So here's our top, our neckline of our foundation stitch, and every row should have the same amount of loops. This is what's going to continue to make our rectangle. And again, you can see on the edge how each row is a little different. It starts off kind of like with a bigger and then smaller, bigger, smaller. It just appears that way, but they're all a chain 4. So now just continue the length of the dress that you would like in this one color, or I will show you how to do a color change. So just continue on until you have your right length. I did 30 rows before I did a color change. It was about halfway for me for this dress. To do a color change on our last single crochet, we're going to insert and just stop before we finish the single crochet. Let's just pull up our new yarn. So pulling up the new yarn, finishing that single crochet. Just give it a snug pull there. And once you have the new color in, we can just chain 4 and continue with our new color. You could make this dress with some beautiful striped patterns as well. It would look so pretty. With your new color, we'll just continue the same pattern. So single crochet into that first loop, chain 4, and single crochet into the next loop. How simple is this? You can cut your first color of yarn, just leave a little bit of tail to sew up the sides. Once you have determined how long your dress is going to be, we can do our last row. The last row will be the bottom of our dress. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to finish this row with a half double crochet, just how we started. We can start by putting a half double crochet in that very first stitch. And then we're going to half double crochet all the way across. Let's put 2 half double crochet in each chain space. So 1 and 2, and then 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, right there in that single crochet from the round below. And then 2 half double crochet in the chain space, and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. This should equal the same amount of stitches that you started with at the neckline. To finish, I will put 2 half double crochet in that last chain space. If you're just making one color, make sure you leave a long enough tail to sew up the sides, probably about 1.5 times the length of your dress. You should now have 2 sides. We will put the right sides together. Let's mark the shoulder seams and the armholes. This can be as wide as you would like for the neck, and also the armholes for as long as you would like. We will then stitch the sides of the dress here on this side. You could leave the bottom open if you would like for a little slit. That would look really pretty as well. To stitch the sides together, just take your darning needle, and what I've done is I just take a little bit of yarn from one side and going through, and then going from the inside of the stitch to the outside, I take a little bit from there. I prefer this method because then it gives a nice flat seam to put the dress together. So again, just taking in, going under 1 or 2 pieces of yarn on one side, and then again on the other side. Once I get my yarn straightened around here, there we go. So you can go around and around if you'd like, whatever kind of stitch that works best for you. This is the one that I like. For the shoulder, I like to take the stitches and put them together, and I like to just take the outside of each stitch. So the outside and the outside, and just loop around. So again, taking from outside to outside and loop around. Thank you so much for watching all this. Don't forget to weave in all your ends and enjoy your beautiful sundress. Be sure to stay to the end to see some fun stuff. Bye.